What's up?
Life of a hustler, gotta do it for mother, gotta do it for father, even though he act like a sucker. Life of a hustler, gotta do it for granny, gotta do it for brothers, even if they think I don't love them. Been getting active and hustling.
What's up, More Action family? We here in Atlanta. Yes, sir. February 1st, Herman Dulce did a mentee pop-up, okay? And you can only get into these pop-ups for free if you're in the mentorship. So shout out to Herman Dulce. And don't forget to join his group on Instagram. There's links all on his Haitian CEO page. So more about that later. But you know what I want to talk about today? I want to talk about procrastination. And if you really think about it, procrastination isn't real. I can't remember his last name, but one of the speakers yesterday, Dwayne, said a quote that I couldn't stop thinking about. Procrastination isn't real. It's either a priority or it's not. That stuck with me the moment he said it. He didn't have to repeat it. I didn't have to write it down. Procrastination is a choice, okay? Because you can have something that you want to do, or you can have something that you see happening, but you don't really know how to get there. So you don't move as fast. You don't plan as much. You see it happening, but you're not taking action. You're not doing much towards that goal. Why? Because it's not that important to you. You may think you want it. You may think you're going to enjoy it once you have it, but all of the things it takes to get to that point, you're not willing to sacrifice. You're not willing to put in the time and effort required to get that goal you see. But if it's something like a camera or a TV or a new phone, you know what I mean? It's not much work required to get that. So that's what I meant by you could want something or you could see something for yourself. The difference is the effort you had to put in to get that thing. You know what I mean? When you really want something, you'll do what you got to do. You ever been to a Verizon store and went through all of that hell just to get a phone? Like you went in there with a working phone, you know what I'm saying? There was nothing wrong with it. You turn it in. It's supposed to be a quick little, in and out, but it wasn't. It would turn into a 3-hour, 4-hour, let's transfer all of your photos and all of this extra stuff. Hey, oh yeah, let me add on another, $20 to your bill because we're upgrading chargers and you need a new set of like all this stuff, right? But you sacrificed that time to get that phone because you wanted it. Now, a lot of y'all say, I want good credit. I want to start a business. I want to be rich. Well, it's going to take a little more than 4 hours at the Verizon store to get those things. So do you really want it? Or do you just want to sound cool saying it? That's what made me look at procrastination, the word procrastination, differently, because you can say I'm procrastinating and just sound cool saying that. You say that to somebody, they're like, oh, okay, I see you. You got a vision, you got a plan, but you just, you're not doing everything you could. That's not doing it. You say procrastination because you want to sound cool on the way to your goal. But in reality, procrastination is just an excuse to not do everything necessary. It's like, I can do a little bit, show it off, and people think, I'm on my way. And that's enough for me. I'm starting to realize that that's not enough for me at all. I spent the last month doing the opposite of procrastinating. Like I told y'all in the last video, I'm not going to be spending all this time on YouTube making videos. I got to actually start making money. So you know what I did throughout the month? I got 2 or 3 extra paint jobs. Okay. And I actually followed through with them, finished them to the best of my ability with a little bit of help, made some extra money. I RSVP'd for this mentee pop-up here in Atlanta, and actually drove 4.5 hours to come learn more education about credit, group homes, life insurance, banking strategies in general. Okay. A lot of people won't make drives to learn. They'll make drives to party or vacation, but that makes the drive easier. When you got something that's fun on the other end, you're willing to drive. But when you are going solely to better yourself, a lot of people would rather sit in the house, watch a YouTube video, listen to audio, read a book, but I made the trip. I got inside the room. And that's something I want y'all to start understanding. Getting inside the room is different than watching the video on YouTube. Okay. When you're in the room, you feel the energy of the people doing better than you, the people wanting more information from you. It drives you to be a better person because you're around other people. When you're in a room by yourself watching videos, you honestly, there's nothing to compare it to. It's easy to say, oh, I'm just a procrastinator. When you go around people who are moving for real, you're not a procrastinator, you're just lazy. They look at you like, you ain't procrastinating, you're just not doing anything. Procrastination is a made-up word to make slackers feel better about what they've, been working on. You know what I'm saying? You ain't working, you're not. That's what it is, to be real. So I wanted to make this video to remind y'all, don't procrastinate. And if you are procrastinating, just bite the bullet and understand you probably don't want to do the thing you're procrastinating on. It's like, it's okay to not want to do stuff. It's all right. You don't gotta, be the best at everything. Find out what you like. Find out what interests you. So that way the word procrastination never comes out your mouth. Another interesting person that I've been hearing on, like Instagram and YouTube is Andrew Tate. And he made a good point the other day. He said people use words differently in other cultures. Like, he was in Africa, and the way that they talk about colors, for example, is completely different. Like, they have a name for every single color. Like, we call different shades of green. I mean, obviously there's other names for these, luxury colors, but for the most part we call green and blue. But in Africa, he was saying that certain colors that we call blue, they call green. Like, it's weird. I don't know. But the point he was trying to make is, when you replace a word with another word, your mindset around it changes. So if you tell yourself, I'm tired, your mindset's gonna think you're tired and you're gonna lay down, maybe do less. But let's say you changed tired to warmed up. Now, if you're warmed up, you technically haven't even started. So your mindset says, wow, I got more in me. I can keep going. Let's keep going. It's just the change of one word could change how you actually do something. So back to our special word of the day, procrastination. Don't say you're procrastinating. Say, I'm not getting it done, or lazy, something that triggers you, to be honest. I want you to tell yourself what a mentor would tell you. A coach would not say, it's okay, just, come to practice tomorrow, try again. They're going to push you in the present moment while you're practicing. They're going to notice what it is that you can work on and tell you right then and there. They're not going to allow you to slack day after day just so you can find out when it's time for the big game that you're not prepared at all. They would rather let you know way ahead of time you're not prepared, you aren't fast enough, you aren't strong enough, not to hurt you, but to help you. So instead of telling yourself, I'm just procrastinating, let's say I'm being lazy. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing enough. Different words will hopefully cause you to do different actions. Now, enough of all this procrastination talk, because I really want you all to get rid of that word, okay? Procrastination is not real, all right? So I'm going to give you something to think about and work on in this next month, okay? Bank relationships. Everybody's got their own thing. Everybody's got, a side hustle. And even if you don't have a side hustle, you have a hobby. Some people like to make jewelry, draw, make different, pieces of art that can go up in your house and dance, all of these things can actually make you money. Okay. So, what I want you to do, whether you plan on starting a business or just showing your hobby off to the world, I want you to get a good relationship started with at least 2 banks. Okay. And what I mean by that is walk into the bank, go online to the bank's website, and don't just ask for credit. Okay. Get a checking account, get a savings account. Some of y'all have money sitting right now, okay, inside of your house in a shoebox somewhere. Some of you got money sitting in Cash App. Like, go to an actual bank and start a relationship, okay? Because these banks know exactly what to do with your money. You may not know exactly what to do with it, but they, from the moment you deposit it, know what to do. They're going to turn that money into more. Okay, you give them 100, they're going to turn it into 1,000. Give them 1,000, they're going to turn it into 10,000. And then not only are they going to multiply it times 10, they're going to invest it, which does what? Brings them more money. They're going to lend it out to other people with interest on top, which does what? Brings them more money. So by depositing into banks, credit unions, big banks like Bank of America, it doesn't matter. All banks pretty much do the same thing, because there's no other way to make money by just holding money for other people. You have to make the money move to bring money back in to the system. So you go into these banks, you start a relationship with them by depositing $100, $50. Don't be scared if you don't have that much money. A relationship is a relationship. You go deposit $25, $50, and 3 months later they could be, sending you mail about their newest credit card, which has access to $5,000. Like, you don't avoid going into the bank because of your amount of money. Just go. Okay, deposit as much as you can with the intention of building this relationship. Okay, you want to, if anything, look into high yield savings accounts, because this will allow you to grow your money and build a relationship with the bank. If you put it in a regular checking account, regular savings account, not gonna get anything back for doing that. $100 now will be $100 next year. That's just how it is. But a high yield savings account, you can make 4% on your money, and if you're depositing $1,000, $10,000, that percentage gets bigger and bigger if you do your own math. Okay, so after you build these relationships with these banks, you want to make sure that you're always looking for what's new. Okay, because this is another part of getting access. Okay, if you become a familiar face with these banks, more than likely you'll get better approvals, higher percentage of bigger limits, things like that. Okay, so good banks to start relationship with are credit unions. Okay, I'm not going to say any specific credit unions, because some of y'all might not be in the same state as me. But what you want to do is go on Google, type in credit unions, and see what credit unions are in your local area. They're the best banks to start relationship with, because once you do need access to more money through lines of credit, car loans, credit cards, they give higher limits. Okay, because credit unions are member based, so they want you to be happy. They're not going to throw something towards you that'll rub you the wrong way. Oh, here's a $500 credit card. No, they're not going to do you like that, because they know members come and go. So we're going to give them the best products, the best limits we can offer to keep these members depositing money into our accounts and asking for more products in the future. Okay, now once you have done these deposits and asked about the newer products they have coming out, credit cards, car loans, it's been about a month, 2 months. What you want to do now is start applying for credit. Okay, you don't want to apply immediately because they have no way to know how you are with money. There's a credit score, but there's also a bank rating score. Okay, if you're in the bank for a month, 2 months, and the deposits that you put in aren't moving that much, your bank rating is going to go up. Because like I said, they're using your money to their advantage. So if you put $1,000 in this bank account and don't touch it for a month, 2 months, Lord knows how much money the bank made off of your money because you let it sit there. You helped them out. So your internal bank score with them is going to go up. But the more you put in and then take it out 2 days later because you had to pay a bill and then put some back in, but it's like a third of what you did the first time, they're like, all right, this guy or girl obviously needs the money. They're not trying to let us do what we do with it. So when they come applying for credit, I'm pretty sure they aren't going to handle that well either. That's how banks think. They watch what you do with the money. And if you're, playing around with your money, if you need it that bad, what do you think they assume is going to happen if they give you a $10,000 credit card? You might max it out and not pay them back. You might do something dumb. So just show them you're responsible with your money, then they'll give you some of theirs. Okay? We can talk about credit card applications in another video, but for the most part, banks will approve you for their 0% interest. Some have other intro bonus offers, but they will more than likely approve you for these credit cards because you've built a relationship with them. Okay? Now, we started off this video talking about procrastination, and then we started talking about building relationships with your money. Now, what I'm about to get into is after getting your first credit card, depending on what type of card it is, I'm gonna let y'all in on a little tip to build more relationships with not your money, but the bank's money. Okay, this is something most people don't think about, so I have to go to another area to let y'all know about this real quick. So hold on one second. Okay, y'all, for real. This isn't talked about all the time. Some people might have told you, but I'm gonna be the first if you haven't heard this before. Cash App accepts credit cards. Okay, this is why I spoke so much on building relationships, because you don't need to only be building relationships with the bank. Sometimes you need to have good relationships with people. Because let's just say, right, you did everything I told you. You started a bank relationship, you deposited, a couple $100, and it's been a few months now, you're getting offers for $2,000, $5,000, $10,000 credit cards. You get approved, you have access to thousands of dollars now, not just hundreds like you deposited of your own money. Now, this money can be sent to Cash App, right? Let's say you have a trusted friend who's got a Cash App, and you send money from that credit card to their Cash App. This will do what? Allow them to pull that money and move it to their bank account, right? You can basically liquidate your credit card and turn it into cash through this method. So you have a credit card, you find a trusted person with a Cash App, you send them money off of your credit card, and now you can take that cash and go to another bank. Not the same one you started a relationship already. Go to another bank and don't deposit 100. This time deposit 1,000, deposit 2,000, and let it sit. Okay? What is this going to do? Not only build you another bank relationship, but it's going to increase the limits on the next credit card or the next car loan you get. So keep this in mind. You have to be creative, you have to be strategic, and it is not always the best option to use your money to build relationships with banks. Money is money. So if you get it from Bank of America, take it out, and then give it to Wells Fargo, it's not really going to hurt anyone. It's not going to hurt anyone because let's say Bank of America is like, yo, you just took $2,000 off this card. You know, the payment's due soon. Where are you gonna get that money from? Well, you never spent it. Okay, so you could just take the money you pulled off of the card and pay it off. But let's really think this out. You're probably not going to be in a situation where you have a 20% interest rate credit card. You're probably in a situation where you got a 0% interest credit card, because I told you, building relationships with these banks and asking about their newest products will let you know what cards have intro bonus offers and which cards don't. You have to pick and choose wisely. You can't just pick a card that has a 25% interest rate and a $90 annual fee. Like, come on, you don't want to hurt yourself in the beginning. Pick and choose wisely, okay? There are cards like there's cards from Bank of America, there's cards from Wells Fargo, there's cards from all different banks that give 0% intro bonus offers, which will allow you to pull money off the card, pay no interest, and only pay minimums, okay? So let's say you pull off $2,000 from a 0% interest credit card, run it through Cash App, and deposit it into another bank. You're probably only gonna owe $25 to $50 a month as a minimum payment to basically use this intro bonus time limit, 12 months, 18 months, to go start relationships with multiple banks, with other people's money, with the bank's money. So don't stress yourself out over how am I gonna pay off the $2,000 credit card balance, and build a relationship within 1 month. You're not supposed to. You're supposed to put yourself in a situation where you have multiple months to season these bank accounts. That's why I really want you to focus on 0% interest intro bonus credit cards. We'll talk about the best cards to use in another video, but this particular video is to get you thinking, to get you doing your own due diligence and research, okay? With that being said, this was another great episode of the More Action Podcast, and till next time, don't procrastinate. Don't even say that word. Just recognize you being lazy, or you actually don't want that thing, okay? Build some bank relationships. Get your hands on some money that isn't yours, Other people's money is the best way to go. I mean, it's safe, and honestly, if something happens, they have a problem, not you. You really think about it, like, it's their money, so yeah, have good relationships with people, because when it comes to being strategic, you can't do everything alone. You know what I mean? You need, teamwork makes the dream work, as my fiance says. We got to work together, okay? And just keep all this in mind. Spend this next month working on yourself, building relationships with banks, avoiding the word and the actual action of procrastinating, okay? Don't do it. Just don't do it. Don't procrastinate. Just get it done, okay? Make something happen. It's your boy, Brandon J. And we in Atlanta right now, but never know what will be next month. Peace.